your child feels that you're very tense and anxiety-ridden, then they probably will be too. But I think something that helps with the anxiety is doing some of the prep work if you can. If your child's going to 7th grade, if they can start going to some of these open houses, even though it's not 8th grade, that clears the time when you get into 8th grade. You don't have to go as many open houses that you're interested in. We also went to some of the house events led by some of the parents, and that was a great experience for my son to go up and talk to teachers and go talk to students in a more informal way or a setting. We also did the camp in the summer that I thought was helpful. So any kind of prep work that you can kind of do to make 8th grade easier. And I remember last year a parent giving advice, if you could kind of do the shadow days and the applications and things and try to get that done before they go to Washington, D.C., that's kind of helpful because homework tends to be a little bit heavier after Washington, D.C., as what they said, could change next year. And also, talk to a lot of the different parents that have been through it. And I would also say, also put on the earmuffs when everybody has their opinion about different high schools because your child is different from everybody else and you kind of know what their strengths are. And you hope that they're going to be guided towards the right decision, but just try not to listen to everybody else and really go to those schools and be open-minded. So that's it.
I agree with everything you guys all just said, but one other thing is I think that one of the gems at Orchard is this process. You look back and between Tommy and Jeff, they guide you and get back to school night. I will say in 8th grade is very important. Don't miss that. or you just have to get with one of your advisor. But they give you, really hold your hand and give you step by step. And they come out with specific dates that are good to shadow dates for the kids. And when they know that the curriculum is not going to be as heavy and around Washington, D.C. So, and Tommy sends out reminder emails, the applications are due in 2 weeks, or now it's a week, and you make sure you have your shadow dates and how to go that whole process of scheduling and getting the teacher recommendations and reminders. So they really do a great job of helping you get from here to high school, I would say. And then, the other thing is that testing early, I think, is a great. Not all the schools know about that, and especially with the public schools. I mean, not that it matters, but it's just a little bit less stressful, I think, when they test in the spring of the end of 7th grade. Yeah, the school. Yeah, I just would encourage you too to go on your own to the See Us in Action at the schools that you think you're interested in. Pick 2 or 3. Or if you want to see 4 or 5, that's for you to go do, but it doesn't bother you. Then you can say, oh, maybe that would be a better fit for my child. But go do that on your own, and then you can help guide your child to 3 places to choose from.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with everything. I would go to as many events that you can, and if your child likes theater or arts, I would go to the plays that they have at the schools and go to the football games. If you're into that, or even just into the social thing of it, just to get a feel for what the community is like at each of the schools, or soccer games or whatever it is that they have, just so you can get a sense, not just for your child, but for yourself. Does this feel like a good fit for our family, for the parent community? As far as the testing, I wouldn't worry a lot about it. I mean, Rachel took the Brevet test the first time and bombed it, and is, doing fabulous there. She's getting great grades. She's happy. She's thrilled. She comes home. I can't tell you how many times she's come home and said, I love Brevet. And I'm just not just about Brevet. I think it's the same thing with all the schools. I love high school. I love being a freshman. I think it's great. This is just fabulous. She's having a great year. And I'm not saying there's not the roller coaster of emotions that goes on, but it's been a really good experience. And but I would just, take advantage of all the opportunities. I think all the schools are kind of courting you and want your kids. And so most likely your kid's going to get accepted everywhere. So, I wouldn't, like they said, I would kind of limit it to 2 to 3. Most people know one school they really think they want, maybe 2. I wouldn't really, unless, I think the only reason thought your kid wouldn't get in, is there's a lot of issues that you might already know about, or something, behavioral issues or something, but I think even those kids do it everywhere in the school. I stopped. Okay, sorry. All right.
Can I add one thing? I think I was talking about Elizabeth about this. I think if we get stuck thinking that we don't have choices, if it doesn't work out, you can always transfer.
Right.
I mean, this isn't a lifelong, and I think when we first have to make that decision, I say we, because I have kids, and we have to do the same thing. And I do believe your children should have some input on where they want to go at this age. You know, when they're first grade, they probably don't have a whole lot, pretty much are in charge, but they should have some input. Doesn't mean that you don't also. But if it doesn't work, you need to know that things change. Nothing is forever. I think we get stuck in thinking, this is for 4 years. No, it doesn't have to be, not most of the time it is. But kids do transfer for different reasons, and that's perfectly fine. So don't think you're stuck there. Even in college, you're not stuck. People transfer, take a year off, and do all kinds of things. So education is a process that needs to work for each child according to what their needs are, and the needs change. Okay.
The other thing that I think that you don't think about when your first child is entering high school is how quickly high school goes. Because you're only there for 4 years, so that time will go so quickly. So it seems like forever when you're going through the application process, but then you're in high school and it's gone. You blink and you sort of think, oh, I don't have to worry about that for you. Then you're